Hi, I'm Karen, and I just want to tell you a story. So last Thursday, um, our boiler broke, and we haven't had any hot water since Thursday. So it's been a very interesting week of boiling the kettle lots of times to do lots of things: wash hair, wash up, wash ourselves. So it's been fun, not so much fun. You don't really appreciate what you have till it's gone. So basically, the boiler broke because it was overcompensating in many of its parts, because there was a certain there was like this operations board that was faulty. So the other parts were doing overtime, and then everything just broke when it caused a safety issue. So it was, we didn't really know what it was, but it's all fixed now today. It's just the engineer has just left. So we now have hot water and everything's working brilliantly. But the boiler wasn't working. It was so outdated. It's like 15 years old, but luckily we've replaced the parts, and now it's in its integrity. It's working well, or as expected to. So I mean, I don't want to talk about boilers with you. It's more of an analogy, because if something is needs updating within us, our thinking, our mind, we need to replace it, because we need to grow. We need to be our best selves, and sometimes our thinking needs to be replaced. No, not sometimes, it needs to be replaced. We need to update ourselves. We're like a supercomputer that can only go so fast and so effectively when we're updating ourselves. Like our mind, our programming needs to be updated, because we're old. I'm like 40 something. I'm not gonna divulge that information, but there's certain things in my life that weren't working very well, and that's because I had this conditioning. I had these ways of thinking which ultimately affected my behavior, and that went on to take action or no action in certain areas of my life. And I'm going to discuss those in more videos, because this topic is so important, because we are the nucleus of our life. Everything in our life happens because of us, and what actions we take, and how we come across, and our attitude. Okay, so I mean, overthinking, this is a video I've wanted to do for a while, but this is just like, the boiler is just an example of how we use our mind so incessantly, but it can overcompensate, and when we overuse our mind, we start to fail in some ways. So I mean, overthinking is so exhausting, isn't it? We're so identified with this incessant chatter because it's habit, and we are creatures of a habit. We like our routines even when they're not good for us. We don't know any other way of thinking. We don't know anything different. We've always told ourselves the same things over and over, and we assume that it's harmless, to talk like this to ourselves or about ourselves. But know this, I mean, this chatter is harmful to you, and it affects you and all areas of your life, because, like I said, you are the nucleus of your life. Your energy is affected by what you are thinking on a daily basis, and that affects how you show up in all of those different areas of your life. So here's a rough extreme example of how I used to think in secret a long time ago, just to give you an idea of how we allow it to go on. Okay, so I used to wake up and I'd go, oh, I've got to get up. I can't be bothered. I'll snooze. I'll put the snooze on. And then after a while, I'd be like, oh God, I'm late. Oh my God, I'm late. And I'd be rushing around. And then, I'd be thinking, okay, what is there to worry about? Oh, that person, they were mean to me yesterday. Okay, I'm going to avoid that person. And then I'd be like, oh, I should be nice to them. I'm going to try and make myself good today, no matter what. I'm going to make today happen. I like this team. I like who I work with. I really like them, get on well with that person. Oh, I don't like that person. Oh no, I've got to do a presentation as soon as possible. Oh, I've made a mistake. Oh, this is so tough. Why is everything so hard? I'm so frustrated. Okay, I'm going to have to force that smile, even though I really don't want to. Okay, I'm going to be my best self today. In this meeting, I'm going to rock it. I have no idea what these people are talking about in this meeting. I don't understand. Oh God, help me. Please don't ask me a question. Oh no, please don't ask me a question. Oh no, you put me on the spot. Frustration. Okay, keep calm and be knowledgeable. Am I doing this right? Oh God, I can't believe I've just said that. I suck. Oh God, I am so shit. Everyone is looking at me. I can't do this. Why bother? Why? I think I'm going to cry. What must people think of me? Do they like me? Does that person like me? Oh, I have to do this. I have to show up for this person. I have to listen to them. Everybody is ignoring me, or are they? Or am I being paranoid? I'm going to go home to bed. Am I good enough? Am I in the right job? Am I in the right relationship? Okay, I'm going to be on form tomorrow. I hope I'll be okay tomorrow. Okay, I'm going to watch TV and take my mind off everything. Oh God, I feel so numb. I don't like myself. I can't even look at myself in the mirror. Okay, sleep. I can't sleep. Help! So when I go over this, it can feel funny, and it's kind of funny. It's a funny story, but in the moment, it is chaos, isn't it? Our mind is whirring away, and I used to feel really unstable on some days and unsure and really confused. I know what the heck was going on. What is happening? And it really doesn't feel good. So why does this happen? And what can we do about it? Well, the first thing we have to know is what is going on. Now, when you're overthinking, you already know what's happening. You know that you're overthinking. You tell yourself that you are overthinking. You're overly identified with the thoughts that are happening, that are just coming up again. Now, when you're identified with something, you accept it as true. You're choosing to believe it. So it's best for me to give you a summary on who you are. So you are not your thoughts. You are not your body. You are energy. And, you are 99.99999% energy. And you're 0.00001% physical. And your very essence is your creativity. But unfortunately, sitting on top of your creativity are belief systems or paradigms that you've inherited, and they prevent your creativity coming up to express itself. And these are like clouds. Your beliefs are like rigid thoughts that you are routinely thinking day after day, and they become very fixed in your mind. And your true nature, your creativity, is like this sunshine underneath the clouds, and it wants to express itself. So when people say they're not creative, they actually are. It's just that their creativity is being dampened down or blocked from being expressed by these rigid thought patterns of who you are, of how you see the world. You know, it's a lens that you look through of how you see yourself in the world. You know, musicians and artists and writers are expressing their creativity, but we all have great potential underneath these rigid, outdated belief systems. And this is like the boiler example. You know, parts of that boiler were outdated, like they need to be replaced. And this is what we need to do with our paradigms. You know, these belief systems, we need to update us. You know, we need to fix that boiler. So if you're overthinking, it's due to a tug of war between your true nature, who you are, and your outdated paradigms. You know, if you're in doubt and worry and fear, making a decision is so difficult because your limited thinking is overruling your creativity. And your creativity is what you need to move forward effectively in life. Your creativity is what holds your greatest ideas. You know, it's your flow, it's your joy, your integrity, your fun. And your paradigms are so loud. They are this noise. You can't hear anything else. And they prevent this creativity from expressing itself, from coming up and forward. So this is why it's so essential to remove these paradigms. So your creative juices begin to flow because you attract who you are, you know? So are you in worry, doubt, and fear in your day, in your months, in your years? Have you been like that for so long? Or are you in ease, flow, and joy? So with overthinking, maybe you're struggling to make a decision on something. You know, it's this constant, incessant chatter. You know, don't take action. Do take action. What's the right thing to do? Should I say that? What do I say? What do I do? So when you overthink, your mind is overactive and all your vital energy is just in thought. And this is when we run around all day, not just physically, but mentally. And we're very scattered, and this leads to burnout. This leads to us being that boiler that just falls apart. So you're in this constant mental stimulation and you're spinning your plates. And that's how I used to be. So you've got to make a decision to get out of the box and slow down. Now, slowing down, maybe that's not what you want to hear, but slowing down your energy is what will take you out of your thinking. So when you put all your energy, when you slow down your energy, if you put your energy in fear, worry, and doubt, it leaves you depleted and tired. You become undernourished, edgy, and irritated. And this will perpetuate itself, going around and around and until the mind becomes exhausted and overwhelmed and you're just burnt out. And this is what 95% of the population do. The thing is, the solution can't be found in overthinking, in worry, in doubt, in fear. The solution to everything is in your creativity. And that's underneath this fast lack energy happening in your mind. So the first step is to realize that you are identifying with your thoughts. So we have to detach from our thinking. You are not your mind. The mind is a tool. You are not your thoughts. So how do you release from that fast-paced energy in your mind? So you've got to be in the present moment as awareness. And there's an easy way to do this. We don't have to overcomplicate this thing. We don't have to go into advanced ways of not identifying with the thoughts. You can just get into your body and direct that attention, that energy into your body. And this is called grounding. Now, you may have heard of grounding energy, and we need this to calm the energy down and become very centered. So when people have panic attacks or anxiety attacks, it's because they're in their mind, and before you know it, the thought impacts the body. It's so fast that you just get the feeling. But like milliseconds before that, there is a thought. And that's because the mind controls the body. So that emotion flows into the body. This emotion is energy emotion, which makes the body go into fight or flight mode response, which is anxiety, and we feel fear. So deep breathing works really well, and you can do something called a 2x breath. So you breathe in for 4 and you hold, and you breathe out for 6 to 8 seconds. And that's why exercise makes you feel so good through deep breathing. Now, exercise might not feel so good at first because, we're not in the routine, we're not in the habit of doing it. But after a while, exercise, in exercising your body, your energy is out of fear-based thinking. So you've got to get into the present moment. And this is why exercise feels so good, because we're in the body. And this is where your true nature and your creativity resides. So don't push anything away, just allow it. Just allow it all. Don't be scared of the thoughts. They have no power over you. They are just noise. They're just background noise, like a TV. But they don't hold you until you internalize them, unless you internalize them, meaning, dwelling in the thoughts, getting locked in, getting hooked. They're like, the mind offers us bait. And if we take the bait, then, like clickbaity, you're in there. If you click on that advert, then it's got you. It's the thoughts are like that. We can just have a look at them and go, okay, that's a thought. We don't need to get involved. But staying in the body is really good. So why would we ground? Why would we do this? Well, why do we need to be present, in the present moment in our body? Because it's that centered space, you can make a better decision away from the noise, away from the emotion. So when we're centered, we're grounded, we can take the right action. We can have better informed decisions. If everything's scattered, we need to really focus it down. So if you have trouble sleeping, I'd suggest, this is just my advice, I don't know everything, but this is what works for me, and it's worked for me for a long time. And this is through trial and error over years of my life. And this is why I'm doing this video for you. So if you have trouble sleeping, getting to sleep or waking up in the night, I used to have that. When I did yoga before bed, even just 5 minutes of yoga, just deep breathing, downward dog, do some stretching, just get out of your mind, focus on the breathing. Yoga is a brilliant practice to be in your body, and that's the operative word, be. So focus your attention on breathing and movement. It is a moving meditation, and the breathing will steady your mind and your emotions. So also, if you're trying to make a decision, I've got some tips that will get you out of your overthinking. Okay, so set a timer for 5 minutes if you are struggling with a decision. And this forces you to assess pros and cons and listen to your gut for a quick decision. if it's number two, is if it's a big change, it can feel overwhelming to the mind. So instead, decide on what you want and focus on one step at a time, which makes the change more manageable. Three, if you're reluctant to take action, it might be because you're afraid that it will lead to bad results. So the thing is, delaying the decision is worse than making a bad decision. Bad decisions can be recovered from and learned from, but not deciding means that you don't get a chance to grow. And this is important, about life. It's trial and error. Okay, so number four, if you're in the habit of waiting until your ducks are all in a row, don't make that mistake. There will never be a perfect time. I was somebody who put off having children, having my daughter. I put it off because I just never felt ready. But there's never a good time. Okay, so rather than waiting, do what effective decision makers do. Take the leap, but you have to believe in yourself. And to believe in yourself, you want to get to know yourself, and that's through study. Okay, so number five, if you find it difficult to make a decision, it may be because you're not so clear on what you want. So take the time to get clear on your desire. Follow your heart and your gut and make your decision. Number six, have a strong reason why you want what you want. Let's say you decide to start exercising. So which of the following is a stronger why? So you've got A, you're doing it because you want to be healthier, or B, you're getting fit because you want to run around after your kids or grow up to see your kids and your grandchildren grow up. So the first case, A, your why is really noble, but it's also impersonal, general, and it's quite weak. But in the second, B, your why is personal, it's specific, it's compelling, and it's capable of resisting temptation. If you change that meaning, you can hold a stronger why. So the power of a made up mind backed by a strong desire is generally enough to keep you flip-flopping and changing your mind. And finally, a basic law of the universe is create or disintegrate. So indecision causes disintegration, and people struggle to make decisions. They run the risk of letting their lives run them rather than them running their own lives. So when you're good at making decisions, you eliminate conflict, confusion, and frustration. And that's a good place to be out of that. So make sure you're coming from a centered, responsive space when making a decision, and make sure it's not in reaction. So if you'd like to change your thinking so you can lead a more satisfying life in all areas, book a call with me and we can work together to identify what's really holding you back. Thanks for joining me, and I will see you in the next video.